Hi my friends! Welcome to the channel English Professionally, and I'm so happy that I recorded this video course for you, really. 30 English tenses tasks practice, so I really hope it's an amazing course and it will help you a lot with grammar and English tenses. You'll have lots of practice, and thanks a lot for your support, for likes and shares. And I'd like to tell you really, so it's an amazing course on English tenses for the following levels, not only for beginner, but elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate, upper intermediate and advanced, so mostly these levels. Okay, but maybe the first tasks can be good for the first levels, but generally it's for high levels, so intermediate and high. Thank you very much, my friends. And you need to choose the correct tense and explain why. So you must use this tense. Look, so the first group, present simple or present continuous. So it isn't so easy, really. Look, use present simple or present continuous. So I think that you remember when you use present simple and present continuous. So you use present simple for things which generally happen. So things which happen maybe from time to time, or something like that, but not now. So they happen in general, from time to time, for example, not now, and you use present continuous, for things which are happening, now. So if it's now, it's present continuous. Okay, good. And you need to choose the right tense. So present simple or present continuous. Look, they read this correspondence. Maybe some letters, So look, they read this correspondence. So first of all, you need to understand what tense it is. Really, is it present simple or present continuous? So is it about now or not? So look. If it's look, it means now or at the moment. And if it's at the moment, you need to use present continuous. I think you remember how you use this tense. So am, is, are plus verb plus ing, okay? So I am, he, she, it is, we, you, they are. So look, they are, read, it's a verb, and we add ing. So you need to say they are reading this correspondence. Okay, good. So the next, and you know that, as you see, there are 30 English tasks on tenses, and please try to actually count how many mistakes you have and how many right answers you have, and please write about your result in the comments below. Really, it's very interesting, for me to know your result. Okay, so good. And if you study this course, I think that your level will be much higher, maybe upper intermediate or advanced. Upper intermediate, good upper intermediate. It's a very important course, believe me. Okay, so practice, only practice can really help you. So it sounds really strange now. Okay, so good question. So what will you use? Present simple or present continuous? Okay, so it's about now, so you need to use present continuous, right? How will you say it? Think about it one more time. Yeah, think again. It. If you say it this way, yeah, unfortunately, my friends, it isn't right. It's a mistake. And you can ask me, how can it be? We have now and we must use present continuous. Yes, my friends, yes, but there are exceptions. So there are exceptions. So sound, the verb sound doesn't have a continuous form. Okay? Continuous. Doesn't have a continuous form, yeah? So you know that there are some verbs in English which don't have a continuous form, like, you know, like know, understand, want, and seem is one of these verbs. So you can't say it. So if you have this verb, yeah, so you need to use present simple, yeah, although it's about now. So you need to use present simple and you need to say it sounds, only this way, it sounds, so really, it sounds really strange now. Okay, well done, my friends. It sounds really strange now. Okay, next. So I work very hard this week. So present simple or present continuous. So we know. Yeah, please think about it and then we'll check it. Okay, so we know that we use present continuous if it's about now or at the moment, but not only, my friends. It's, you know, some period, it's a period related to present. So it's a period. So what is, it can be a period, yeah, it can be a period related to present. And you need to know that we often use present continuous with these phrases. So this week, yeah, this month, so these days, yeah. So it isn't now, it isn't at the moment, it isn't only now, it isn't only at the moment, but it's about a period related to present, yeah, not in general, but which has a limit. It has a limit, yeah? It has a limit. And so, as a result, you need to use present continuous here, okay? So I am, so what is next? I am plus verb plus ing. So you need to say I'm working very hard this week. Right, my friends, very good. So next, this thing get more and more popular. So a good question. So present simple or present continuous? Okay, so what's your answer? In fact, my friends, it's about this thing too. So you need to understand that present continuous is also about a period related to present. And you need to know this rule that we use present continuous. So if it's about now, at the moment, so if it's about this month, this week, these days, and, my friends, more and more. It's a very important thing, and unfortunately, so few people know about it. So more and more because it's about a period. It's also about this kind of period, so more and more. So if you have this structure, you need to use present continuous. And get has a meaning of become here. So this thing, so it means it, so is getting more and more popular, or this thing is becoming more and more popular. Well done, my friends. So please count your mistakes, count your correct answers and incorrect answers, and then please write so how many correct answers so will you have out of 30. So maximum is 30, and it's very interesting for me to know it. So good. So number 5. So bad news travel fast. So first you need to decide present simple or present continuous. So it's a well-known fact, yeah? It's a well-known fact, and if it's a well-known fact, yeah, so it often happens, it usually happens, you need to use present simple. And how will you say it in present simple, please, my friends? How will you say it in present simple, please? I want to check your knowledge. Bad news. If you say so, it isn't right. It isn't right, my friends. Because you need to know one thing, that news is singular in English, not plural. So singular means one, it's one. And if it's one, so bad news means one, so it. So you need to say bad news travels. Bad news travels fast. It's also a very important thing. So you need to understand two things. So first you need to choose the right tense. And secondly, my friend, you need to choose the right form. It's also very important. And it's very important to do both these things. So choose the right tense and choose the right form. Okay, my friend, so this section is about present simple and present continuous. But it isn't enough, and we need to go further. Okay, so past simple or past continuous. Okay, so you know that past simple is for a short action in the past, and past continuous is for a long action in the past. Okay, so please look. When he called me, I take a shower. So try to imagine this situation and understand. So what action is long and what action is short? Yeah, what actions are short and what actions are long, yeah? So when he called me, you see it's a short action. He called me, and what? And take a shower. So I think maybe it's a long action, take a shower, so it's you know, long action, yeah. So maybe if it's long action, yeah. And past continuous, you know how we form it. So was were plus verb plus ing. Please remember it. It's also very important, yeah, to know how we form this tense. Right, so it's a long action. So I was taking a shower, long action, and he called me. So maybe here, yes, maybe here. So I was taking a shower. It's a long action. And then he called me. He called me. So he called me, and the first action interrupted the second action, the second long action, or the first action interrupted the second long action. So I was taking a shower, and suddenly he called me, and we use past continuous for these situations. One more situation, look. While I was working, he lay on the beach. So you see, it's past continuous. So it's a long action. Okay, it's a long action. I was working and lie on the beach. So what will you use? So past continuous or past simple, my friends, what will you use? Okay, so it's also a long action. So two long actions at the same time. So I was working, maybe in my office, and he was lying on the beach at the same time. So two long actions, my friends, at the same time. Two long actions at the same time. And you know that you need to remember these two things. The first thing is that we use past continuous for these situations. So when there is one long action and when there is one short action, and we use it, with sentences with when. And there is another situation when there are two long actions at the same time, and it's usually with sentences, usually in sentences with while. So look, while I was working, he was lying on the beach. You need to say it this way. He was lying on the beach. Okay, well done, my friends, really well done. Okay, so but it isn't all. One more example. So you know that we are talking about past simple and past continuous. It's the second very important section. Okay, next. So you also need to choose present or past simple or past continuous. Look, can you describe it? Yes, the sun shone brightly, and we have a great time. Okay, so what is it? Look, can you describe it? You know that if you describe something, it's usually long actions. So you need to know that we use past continuous. For description. You use past continuous for description, my friends, for description, and it's about long actions. So yes, the sun. So the sun, was shining brightly. It's a long action, and we were having a great time. You can say it. We're having a great time. You can say it in past continuous, right? So can you describe it? Yes, the sun was shining brightly and we were having a great time. So maybe you can continue. How you can continue? So you can say that maybe we were laughing. We were laughing, or maybe we were laughing, yeah, and talking, yeah, and so on, yeah, laughing and talking. So it's past continuous when you describe something in the past, some, some situations, some situation. Good, very good, my friends. So okay, let's actually let's get to the next section. So it's about present perfect and past simple. And let's remember when we use present perfect. So it's about the past, but you need to... Okay, so please first think about it and then we'll talk about it. So choose present perfect or past simple. Here, in 9 and in 10, please, you have some time. Okay, so 9. So present perfect or past simple. You know that if we are talking, if we are talking a present perfect, I know that we talked about it, we use it with some phrases such as ever, yet, yet, already, and some other phrases, So I hope you remember we have a great playlist on English tenses in English grammar with examples. Please have a look. And you need to know that if you have already, you need to use present perfect. And I have a question. How do we form present perfect? It's have or has plus past participle. So it's have or has plus past participle. So how will you say it? Okay, so visit is a regular verb. Yes, this verb is regular, and we know its forms: visited and visited. So visited, or the third form, is past participle, right? We call it past participle. And you need to say I have visited, and you put already in the middle. So I have already visited this place. So you have present perfect because of already. Good. So the next question, the next task. So when you see here last time, present perfect or past simple, you need to know that in questions with when, we never use present perfect, only past simple. It's a rule. So let's ask it in past simple. So when did you see her last time? When did you see her last time? Okay, well done. Okay, more practice for you. So it's also a question. You ever been to or in this country? Okay. Yeah, this is right. Ever be in to or this country. Okay, so present perfect or past simple. So we talked about it. So if you have ever, you need to use present perfect. So have you ever been and in or to this country? Many students say in this country, but it isn't right. You need to remember that we say to with been. It's a rule. Please remember it. Been to. Remember, been to this country, been to a place. Okay, next. Why can't you understand? I say it many times. You know that we use present perfect if there is what? If there is a connection. If there is a connection with the present, my friends. If there is a connection with the present. So we use present perfect. So why can't you understand? So there is a connection with the present. So this phrase tells us about it. And there is one more important thing, that if you have many times, you also need, and if there is a connection, yeah, with the present, you need to use present perfect. It isn't only about many times, it's several times, so several times or 3 times. So you can say, for example, I've been there many times, or you can say I've been to, for example, Italy. I've been to Italy, so 3 times. So there are 2 very important things. So the first very important thing is that you need to use present perfect, yeah? So how will you say it? I have said, okay? So I have said it many times. So you have present perfect. It's a very important thing, my friend. And the second thing is that you need to use to, been to. Please remember it. Don't make mistakes. Don't make this mistake, okay? Okay, so have you ever been to this country? Why can't you understand? I have said it many times. Okay, and just remember it, so there is a connection with the present, so and these phrases many times, several times, 3 times, and so on. Good, very good. So next. So what about this? So you need to use present simple, present perfect, or present perfect continuous. I think you understand the difference between these tenses. So present simple. So things happen in general. It's, it's present simple. So present perfect. What is present perfect? So about the past, but there is what? There is a connection. There is a connection with the present. Okay, and what is, my friends, what is present perfect continuous? Okay, good. So yeah, present simple things happen in general, right? So present perfect about the past, but there is a connection with the present. And what is present perfect continuous? Okay, but before we answer this question, please think about this sentence and what will you choose? Many students say, I learned English for 20 years, but it isn't right, my friends. You need to understand. So if there is for or since, so if an action have started in the past, and it's still happening, so you need to use what? You need to use present perfect continuous. It's have or has plus been plus verb plus ing. Have or has plus been plus verb plus ing. So look, you can't say it because you have for. Yeah, you have for. So please look, if you have for or since, and if an action started in the past and it's still happening, so what does it mean? For 20 years. So what does it mean? So can I explain it for you? Can I explain for you what it means? I think that I can do it. Just look. It means I started learning English 20 years ago. This information is very important. So I started learning English 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And I'm still learning it. So that's the idea. That's the idea of what? Of these tense, which we call present perfect continuous. That's the idea of this tense, okay? So my friends, you can't say it, yeah? You can't say it. So you need to use this structure. You need to use this structure, okay? And really, how will you say it? I have been learn plus ing. I have been learning English. I have been learning English for 20 years. Only this way, my friends, only this way. Please remember. So this section is very important. And you know that I told you in the beginning, so this great English video course is for the following levels, mostly for intermediate and higher. I really want you to know English perfectly. I want you to have an advanced level in English, a strong advanced English level. So, and you have lots of practice. So if you have only lots of practice, good practice, so you can have a great result. Only this way. So my friends, I'm still learning it. Okay, what about 14? I work for this company since last year. So what is it? Present simple, present perfect, yeah, present simple, present perfect, or present perfect continuous. So I work for this company since last year. So we talked about it. So if you have for or since, you need to think about present perfect continuous. You need to think about it. So since, so I have been working. I have been working for this company. I have been working for this company. You see, have been working since last year. And 15. He teach English for more than 10 years. He is my favorite teacher. It's the same situation for. So he has been teaching English for more than 10 years. He is my favorite teacher. Okay, good, my friends. You know that we often use this tense, I mean present perfect continuous tense, in speech. Please, yeah, focus on this tense. Well done, my friends. So this section is about these tenses, but we need to go ahead. So, more difficult things. I know him since childhood, and we not see him for 2 weeks. Okay? Please think about it by yourself first. I'll give you some time and then we'll discuss it. Good. Okay, so how will you say it? So you have since. I have, many students say it this way, I have been knowing him since childhood. But, my friends, unfortunately, this sentence isn't correct, yeah? We talked about it, please remember. Please remember that we talked about it. So, there are some verbs in English which don't have a continuous form. Know, understand, want, seem, yeah? So, we can't use no in continuous. If you can't do it, you need to use. No continuous form, no continuous form, no continuous form, you need to use present perfect. You need to use present perfect instead of what? Instead of present perfect continuous. Okay, so you need to use present perfect instead of present perfect continuous. It's a rule. So what is present perfect? I hope you remember. Have or has plus what? Plus past participle, my friends. Plus past participle. So you need to say I have known him since childhood. I have known him since childhood. And one more. So we not see him for 2 weeks. So what tense is it? So you have for, and you want to say maybe we haven't been seen him, for 2 weeks, right or not? If you say it, my friends, it isn't right. It isn't right again. It isn't right. It's a mistake. So normally we don't use see in continuous. No. So we don't use see in continuous, and you need to use present perfect. So let's say it with present perfect. So haven't seen him for 2 weeks. We haven't seen him for 2 weeks. Good, my friends. Really very interesting information. But let's go to the next section. Past simple or past perfect. So what is past perfect? So students often ask, so what is past perfect? So past perfect is one time before the past. Okay, please choose the right answer. Open the brackets. We call these things brackets. So open the brackets. Open the brackets. Okay? Good. So he said he already finished that task. Okay? So how will you say it? So first he finished, and then he said, so he finished and he said, right? He finished and he said. You see. But we have another situation here. He said he already finished that task. So first, the same situation, I mean that he finished and said, but it's in the second part of the sentence. So you need to use past perfect. Had already. So what is past perfect? It's had plus past participle. Had plus past participle. So it's this. Is this, my friends? So he said he had already finished that task. So so it's in past simple, but if an action happened earlier, then this first action you need to use past perfect. Had already finished that task, so it happened earlier. Next, she was shocked when she found out that she stole her purse. She was shocked, yeah, it's past simple. When she found out, it means when she knew that she stole her purse. It's the same situation, so it's in past simple, you see it's in past simple. But the second action, steal, it happened earlier. It's a very important thing. If the second action happened earlier, you need to use past perfect. And you need to say she had. And what is past participle? Steal, stole, stolen. So she found out that she had stolen her purse. Look. She was shocked when she found out that she had stolen her purse. So the second action happened earlier. Very important thing, yeah? And you know, my friends, So one more for you. When he returned, she already cooked maybe, yeah, dinner. Please open the brackets. And what tense is it? Okay. You can say it differently. Look, when he returned, she was cooking dinner. So what is it? It's past simple. Yes? It's past simple, and how do we call the next tense? It's past continuous. Look, past simple, past continuous. So short and long action. We talked about it. It's one situation. Yes, it's one situation. If the second action happened earlier, you need to use past perfect. So what is past simple? Yeah, in the first part, you have past simple in the first part, and you have past perfect in the second part of the sentence. So, what is it? Let's look at this sentence. Okay. So, when he returned, she had already cooked. Yeah? Had plus past participle. We use it if the second action happened earlier. It's a rule. Yeah? Had already cooked dinner. So it just, it's the first situation, the second situation. Okay, I think you understand. She was cooking. Okay, very good, my friends. And there is one more situation. Maybe you can hear it this way. So past simple and past simple. And then you hear past simple again. So look, when he returned, she cooked dinner. Look, if you see it, it means first he returned and then she cooked, or first he returned and after that she cooked. So you see, it's the first action and it's the second action, right? But if we look at this sentence in past perfect, yeah, it's the second action, yeah, I mean that it happened later, and this action, yeah, which is about dinner, it happened earlier. So that's the difference. So past simple, so one action happens after another. So one action happens, happens what? One action happens after another, in contrast to past perfect. Okay, well done. So the next section, future simple and present simple. Okay, so you may think, yeah, it's very easy, so why should we talk about it? Believe me, my friends, it isn't so easy. And so there are 4 sentences in this section, so 21, 22, 23 and 24. And if you don't make any mistakes in these sentences, I will clap my hands. Really. If you don't make any mistakes in these 4 sentences, if you say it correctly. So the problem is, the students often think, oh, it's easy, I know, but in fact, when it comes to practice, they make mistakes, and people or students don't realize that they have these mistakes. Okay, please, future simple or present simple. So I will tell him when he come back. So how will you say it? Yeah, we don't need a comma here. I will tell him when he come back. So there is a rule. If you have if or when you use present simple, but you talk about the future. So, my friends, if or when plus present simple, but you talk about the future. Okay? I will tell him when he... And I'm sure that some of you said it this way, but it isn't correct. So why? Why? Why is it so? When he comes back. So you need to use present simple. So the problem is that, yeah, most students know this rule, but they use, the incorrect form. They use incorrect form. They forget how to form present simple. So I will tell him when he comes back. Okay, so the next thing, yeah, we will do it if not rain. And rain is a verb here. Okay, so how will you say it? So you have if, so you need to say it in present simple. Really, how will you say it in present simple? If so, if it doesn't rain, only this way. If it doesn't rain, only this way. So we'll do it if it doesn't rain. Yeah, we call it impersonal sentence. Yeah, impersonal sentence with it when it doesn't rain. Okay, so can I clap my hands? Yeah, maybe you answered it correctly, my friends, but there are 2 more difficult questions. Okay, good. Okay, good. So we'll definitely do it if be suitable for her. So we have if, it's about the future, but we don't use future simple, we use present simple. So if, how will you say it? If if it's, or if it is, if it's suitable for her. Present simple, if it's suitable for her. Good. And one more. I'll call him back when the lesson be over. So it's about the future. So it's also about the future, but we need to use present simple. So how will you say it in present simple? When the lesson means it is. So when the lesson is over, or when the lesson finishes. So be over means finish. I'll call him back when the lesson is over. Okay, very good, my friends. So the next section. Past simple, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. So you know that we use past simple. You know that we use past simple talking about the past. We use past perfect. So we use past perfect when? When do we use past perfect? Do you know it? One time before, and past perfect continuous. Past perfect continuous. It's like past perfect. It's like past perfect, but there is for. So the emphasis is on the duration. The emphasis is on the duration, or on the length of this action. Okay, not a short action, so a long action. The emphasis, the emphasis is on the duration, length, so it's a long action, long, because it's continuous. So continuous means long. It's a long action, okay? Good. So, and we form it this way. Had been plus verb plus ing. Had been plus verb plus ing. Look, when I came home, he computer games for 2 hours. It means, so what does it mean? It means that he started playing computer games. He started playing computer games earlier. You see, we see it in this phrase for 2 hours. So 2 hours before, 2 hours before, 2 hours before she, 2 hours before I came, So, and what? Okay, we need more space. And he was still playing it. He was still playing it. Okay? So it's a very important thing, So when I came home, he had been playing. He had been playing computer games for 2 hours. For 2 hours. It means that he started playing computer games earlier, 2 hours before I came, and he was still playing it. Okay? So it's a very important thing. So if you have for, you need to think about these tense. Okay, very good. So the next section, future simple or future perfect. Okay? I know that this tense is very easy, future simple, but what is future perfect? It's nothing difficult, just the structure may be difficult. We'll have plus past participle. We'll have plus past participle, but we use future perfect if there is by in the future. If there is by in the future, you need to use this tense. Look, we finish this project by next year. So by next year, so you know this rule, we'll have plus past participle, so we will have finished this project by next year. You can say we'll finish this project, but if you have by, you say we will have finished this project. It's a rule. Look, the next one. I reach a strong advanced level in English by next month. So the same story, by next month. So you need to think about future perfect, and the formation is the following. Will have. So I will have reached a strong advanced level in English by next month. I will have reached a strong advanced level in English by next month. Okay, so good, very good thing, really. Okay, good. And so the last section, future perfect and future perfect continuous. Okay, so I think that you know what future perfect is, yeah? So it's quite easy for you now. So we'll have plus past participle, future perfect, when you have by. So what is future perfect continuous? It's, you know, it's about the future, but when you have by and for, you know that continuous is about long actions. Look at this sentence. I learn English for 5 years by next month. For and by. If you have only by, you need to use future perfect. If you have both by and for, you need to use future perfect continuous. It's will have been plus verb plus ing. Okay, good. So I will have been next. What is next? Learning English for 5 years by next month. Will have been learning. Okay, please remember this structure. And the last one. So I use this website for 3 weeks by next month. Yeah, the idea of future perfect continuous is the following. Yeah, if it's about the future and you have by and for, yeah, it's about the future, we see next month. So we have by, right, and we have for. So we need to say I will have been using this website for 3 weeks by next month. Yeah, good, very good, my friends, and I really hope it's an amazing course on English tenses. But I also know that you like it when we have a revision at the end of the lesson, and so let's have this revision so that you can memorize it much better and so that you can refresh your knowledge. Okay, so this video course is 30 English tenses tasks. Yeah, it's an amazing, yeah, English grammar practice. It's for different levels, mostly for pre-intermediate, intermediate, upper intermediate, not only for beginner, not only for this level, and elementary. So when we talk about present simple and present continuous, keep in mind, please, that you need to analyze the situation. So not only now, not only at the moment, but for example, look, yeah, look. It also means now, yeah, it also means now. Also, you also need to know that there are some verbs we don't use them in continuous, so we use present simple instead. So such as know, understand, want, and seem. And there are more phrases when we use, yeah, present continuous if it's also about now. So this week, this month, these days, yeah. So and the structure more and more. It's a very important structure, more and more, yeah. Good. So what about, yeah, and you also need to understand that sometimes it's singular, like news, knowledge, it's singular, travels, yeah. What about past simple and past continuous? So we use past continuous for long actions and past simple for short actions. And typically there are two situations. So with when we have one short action and one long action, and with while when there are two long actions. Okay, good. Or when we describe something and we use only past continuous, like when the sun was shining brightly, we're having a great time, and so on. What about present perfect and past simple? So you need to know these phrases. I mean, when we use present perfect, like ever, yet, already, and also when, yes, and you also need to understand that we use present perfect if there is a connection with the present. Good. What about present perfect and present perfect continuous? Yeah, so what about it? So present simple, you know, things happen in general. Present perfect, it's about the past, but there is a connection with the present. And present perfect continuous, when do we use it? We use it for actions. Yeah, when do we use it? We use it for actions which started some time ago and which are still happening, For example, yeah, if an action started in the past and it's still happening. I started learning English 20 years ago and I'm still learning it. And you'll say, I have been learning English for 20 years. Next, yeah, I have been working, yeah, for this company since last year, for and since. But some verbs don't have a continuous form, so you use present perfect instead. Look, I have known him since childhood. We haven't seen him for 2 weeks. Good. What about past simple and past perfect? So past perfect, it's one time before the past, Look, he said he had already finished the task. So the second action happened earlier. Good. What about past simple? Yeah, and there are 3 possible situations with when, yeah? Possible situations. So one action is long, short and long. When he returned, she was cooking. So the second action happened earlier. So when he returned, she had already cooked dinner. And the third situation. So when he returned, she cooked dinner. So first, it means first he returned, and then she cooked dinner. Well, what about future simple and present simple? Yeah, don't forget that we use present simple with if and when talking about the future. And please, my friends, don't forget how to use the correct form in present simple. It's also of great importance. Yeah. Alright, so past simple and past perfect, we talked about it, and past perfect continuous. It's like past perfect, but when we have for, yeah, it's also very important, yeah. The structure is had been plus verb plus ing. Okay, what about future simple and future perfect? You know, just the structure maybe is a little bit difficult, yeah. We'll have plus past participle, but actually it's very easy to understand when you use it. When you have by, yeah, we'll have finished this project by next year. If you have by and for, yeah, you need to use future perfect continuous. Will have been plus verb plus ing, yeah. So I will have been using this website for 3 weeks by next month. Okay, thank you very much, my friend. So I really tried to do my best, yeah. to help you a lot. Yeah, I really want you to have a strong advanced level in English speaking, in English grammar, or whatever. Thank you very much for your huge support. I really appreciate it. Good luck. Bye bye. See you. I'm happy when you are happy. Good luck. Bye. Hi my friends, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video course is very special. So it's English tenses, but not only English tenses, you see, it's English tenses practice and 50 common mistakes, okay? So you see some sentences and you need to find these mistakes, so you need to correct these sentences. So I often hear, I learn English for 5 years, so is it right or not? So you see that this sentence is in present simple, but in fact it's wrong. It's wrong, really, it's wrong, it's incorrect. So you can't say so. It's incorrect. So this grammar is very bad, okay? And I think that you often need to talk about English, so about the experience of learning English. How can you say it correctly, okay? Do you know how to say it? So what's the right? What's the right answer? What's the right answer? Okay, you need to know that you use present perfect continuous. You need to use present perfect continuous for an action which started happening some time ago, which started happening some time ago, some time ago, and which is still happening now, and which is still happening, and which is still, sorry, it's my mistake, and which is still happening now, okay? Good. And we often see these time markers, or we also call them time expressions, okay? So for or since. So please, okay, look at this sentence one more time. I learned English for 5 years. So it means, yeah, I started learning English 5 years ago. I started learning English. So normally we say start doing something. I started learning English 5 years ago. And you see, for an action which started happening some time ago, right? And which is still happening now, and which is still happening now. So, and I'm still learning English, and I'm still learning it, and I'm still learning it, okay? So you see, my friend, okay, yeah, that's true. And we have for. So for tells us about it, and you need to use present perfect continuous. What is present perfect continuous? It's have or has plus been plus verb plus ing. Okay? Have or has been plus verb plus ing. So I, we, you, they have, he, she, it has. And you know that foreigners make this mistake very often. Yes, please don't make this mistake. Say it correctly. Okay, how will you say it? How we say it in English? Okay, so the correct answer is, so it isn't present simple, it isn't present simple, okay? So you need to use present perfect continuous, and you need to say I have been learning English for example, 5 years. I have been learning English for 5 years. Only this way. So personally, I don't understand why, we see little information about this mistake, but I believe this mistake is the most common mistake, among foreigners, among English learners, people who learn English. So please, pay attention to it. It's very important to know it, okay? So only this way. I have been learning English for 5 years. Okay. So one more thing. I work here for 2 months. Okay. So you see, it's present simple. You see, it's present simple, and you think, or you may think, it's right, but in fact, it's wrong. So you see for, and when you see for, you need to think, oh, maybe it's present perfect continuous. And then you remember, when you use present perfect continuous, so when do we use it? So we have this rule, okay? So you use present perfect continuous for an action which started happening some time ago and which is still happening now. So really, so what does it mean for 2 months? It means that I started working here 2 months ago, and I'm still working here. So this sentence is incorrect. My friend. This sentence is incorrect. Okay? You need to say it another way, and you need to use present perfect continuous. Look, have or has been plus verb plus ing. So you need to say, I have been working here for 2 months. I have been working here for 2 months. Okay, so it's much better now. Excellent. Okay, so the next mistake is very common too. Look, but it isn't so simple at the same time. So I know her for 2 years. I know her for 2 years. Is it right or not? And students say it this way, I know her for 2 years, or sometimes they remember, okay, so we have 4, so we need to use, present perfect continuous, so they remember it, and they say it, I have been knowing her for 2 years. I have been knowing her for 2 years. And they think that they are very smart and they speak English without any mistakes at all. But it's a very sad fact that it isn't correct. So this sentence isn't correct, it's wrong. And it's also a sad fact to know or to realize that this sentence is also wrong. This sentence is also incorrect, my friend. You can't say so. And maybe you have a question. Why? Why is it incorrect? We studied it. I can tell you why. So there are some verbs in English. There are some verbs in English which normally don't have a continuous form. Don't have a continuous form. So you can't use them. You can't use them in present perfect continuous. And so know, it's like know, understand, know, understand, be, okay, want. And if you want to use present perfect continuous, but you can't, you need to use present perfect instead, okay? So you need to use present perfect. So I think that you remember it, okay? So I think that you remember how we form present perfect, okay? So it's very easy. Have or has plus past participle or plus the third form, okay? So you need to say not this, because it isn't right, okay? You need to say I have known her for 2 years. I have known her for 2 years. Only this way. So you have for, and you think that you need to use present perfect continuous, but you can't, because there are some verbs in English which normally don't have a continuous form, like yeah, know, understand, be, want, okay? And you need to use present perfect. And you see the formation of present perfect, how we form this tense, okay? Have, has plus past participle. Okay, well done. So the next thing, I'm here for 15 minutes. So is it right or not? No, it isn't right. But anyway, I often hear, so I'm here for 15 minutes, for 20 minutes, I'm here for an hour, for half an hour, things like that. So you have for, and you think about present perfect continuous, okay? And you maybe try to use it, yeah? You know that I have been, and then, my friend, you need to say been, yeah? But here, but it isn't right. You can't say been. It's incorrect grammatically it's incorrect. So you need to use present perfect instead, okay? And you need to say, so it's incorrect, you know, and you need to say I have been here for 15 minutes, for example. I have been here for 15 minutes. Okay, next. I'm understanding you now very well. So, can you say it or not? So, if not, what's the problem? So, it's wrong. So, you can't say it. But you see now, and you think, oh, maybe you need to use present continuous. Yes, if you have now, you use present continuous. It's absolutely right. But you know that we studied, what did we study? That there are some verbs in English which normally don't have a continuous form, okay? So you can't say understand in continuous, with continuous tenses. You can't say it, okay? So if you can't do it, you need to use present simple instead. So, and you need to say I don't. So this sentence isn't right. You need to say I don't understand. I don't understand you now. Yeah? I don't understand you now, so you can't say it, okay? Good. Very important thing. Okay, next. If I will know English very well, I'll be so happy. Yeah, good idea. So, what's wrong with this sentence? So, you see that there are two parts in these sentences. So, the first part is about the future, and the second part is about the future too. And you want to use future simple and future simple. But there is a mistake. So you can't say it this way. You can't say it this way. You need to remember that if you are talking about the future, if you are talking about the future and you have if or when, you don't use, or you use present simple. Use present simple instead of. Instead of means not, but not instead of, future simple. Instead of future simple. It's a general rule. It's a general rule. Okay? It's a general rule. So, the structure is the following. So, the structure, okay? The structure is the following, my friends. Okay? So, if plus present simple, and then you have future simple. Or, my friends, it can be the opposite. It means that it can be future simple first, and then it's if plus present simple, okay? Look, so you need to use present simple instead of future simple. So you need to say, if I know English very well, if I know English very well, I'll be so happy. Okay, or I'll be so happy if I know English very well. But the most important thing is that you use present simple with if when you talk about the future. Good. Next. I was in India many times. Okay, so you see, it's past simple, and you think so. Okay, so what's wrong? So the problem is that you need to use another tense. You need to say it in present perfect. Okay, when do we use present perfect? When there is a connection, when there is a connection with the present, when there is a connection with the present, and some time markers or some time expressions can really help you. Some time markers or some time expressions can really help you. Okay, it's like, you know, it's like already, ever, never. Yeah, sometimes we use never with past simple, but we often use it, I mean, with present perfect, if there is a connection with the present, ever, never, yet, several times, and I mean different phrases with times. So several times, many times, so 4 times, and so on. Okay. Okay, there are. Okay, we decided to focus on the main time markers. Okay, present perfect, and you see many times, and actually there is a connection with the present. So it's not only in the past, so there is a connection. And you need to say, I have been to India many times. And you also need to know that in present perfect we say been to. So we normally say in, but we say been to with present perfect. Okay, so I have been to India many times. Okay, next, I have been in India. Okay, so is it right or not? So I think that you have a question. So it's past simple or present perfect. It's past simple or present perfect. I think you have this question, okay? But if you are talking about distant past, it's past simple, distant past. So maybe I was in India last year, I was in India 2 years ago, and we often use it with ago, last, or when we talk about something in the past. Okay, we talk about something in the past, so we can use past simple. Okay, so I was in India, it was a great trip, or something like that. I was in India, so okay, it was a great trip, and so on. So what about I have been in India? What about present perfect? So normally when we talk about different countries or cities, we use present perfect. It's okay, but there is another mistake. What's this mistake? Do you see it? We need to say I have been to. Please remember it. We use been to with present perfect, okay? So not been in India, not. We say I have been to India. I have been to India, okay? So I have been to different countries, you can say I have been to many countries, or any phrases, any English phrases, but please, been to in present perfect, not in. So students, continue making these mistakes, and they do it again and again. Okay, next. So the next mistake is very common too. Are you still here? How long did you wait for me? Are you still here? How long did you wait for me? So it's about the past, and you often and you often ask questions with how long. Okay, for actions which started happening in the past, and which are still going on. So going on means happening, which are still happening. So is this explanation familiar to you? I think you know this explanation. So you need to use present. You need to use present perfect continuous. So with how long? So a general rule. It's a general rule. Present perfect continuous. So you need to ask, how long have you been? How long have you been? Then use verb plus ing. Okay? How long have you been plus verb plus ing. So you need to ask, how long have you been? Right, how long have you been waiting for me? How long have you been waiting for me? Okay? Good. Very good. How long have you been waiting for me? Please. Or, for example, so it's interesting for you to know about my experience of learning English. And how will you say it if you want to know so about my experience about maybe 2 years or 3 years? I mean, my experience of learning English. How will you ask it? So the same thing. How long have you been learning English? How long have you been learning English? Okay? Only this way. It's a very important thing. I don't know why, but students often ask questions with how long using past simple, but it's incorrect. You need to use, my friends, present perfect continuous. Yeah? It's a general rule. How long have you been plus verb plus ing. So how long have you been learning English? It's a very common question. Okay? And right. So how long did you learn English? Yeah? So it's a very common mistake. Okay? Really. Or just one more. How long do you know? How long do you know him? So is it right or not? Is it right or not? Not. Why? So you know our rule that you need to use present perfect continuous. Okay? A general rule. And you need to say how long have you been plus verb plus ing. And many students say, how long have you been knowing? How long have you been knowing him? Okay? But it's incorrect again. Why? Why it's incorrect? So we talked about it, and I hope that you remember it, okay? So there are some verbs in English which normally don't have a continuous form, okay? Know, understand, be, want. So know is one of these verbs which don't have a continuous form, okay? So in this situation you use present perfect. So if you can't say it in present perfect continuous, okay, so you need to use present perfect. It's a very important rule. Okay, how will you ask a question in present perfect? So how long have you plus past participle or plus the third form? So it will be, how long have you known? So how long have you known him? Okay, how long have you known him? But not this way, not this way. It's incorrect. So how long have you known him? It's okay now. Next. This thing, this thing becomes more and more popular. So is it okay or not? So you know that you can say get or become. This thing becomes more and more popular. So you see, it's present simple, and many students think it's okay, but in fact it isn't. So when we talk about present continuous, I don't know why, but you often see that we use it with now, at the moment, or phrases like look, maybe look, look, it's raining, for example, so it's present continuous, okay, and that's it, so that's all. But no, so the list is longer. So if you have a phrase more and more, it also tells us that we need to use present continuous, right? And you need to say this thing is becoming or getting more and more popular. Okay, so this thing is becoming or getting more and more popular. Very good. Next. When has she done it? So, you know, when you ask a question about the past, you also think, so is it past simple or present perfect? And maybe you ask it not in past, not in present perfect, but in past simple. Maybe you ask when did she do it? And I know that students often say it, when did she do it? Yeah, it's correct. But sometimes they say it this way. And if I ask you a question, okay, so why is it incorrect? Why is it wrong? So why can't we say it this way? So what's the problem? And students often say, oh, I don't know, really, I don't know. But there is a rule, my friends, that if you have when and you ask something about the past, you need to use past simple. So you can't use present perfect with when. It's a rule. You can't use only past simple with when. So you can't say it in present perfect. No, my friends. It's incorrect. It's incorrect. It's a mistake. So when did she do it? Only this way. Okay, and 3 more interesting situations. So he said that he will come. Good or not? He said that he will come. You may think it's good. So you see past simple. You see past simple in the first part of the sentence. And then you see future simple in the second part of the sentence. And you think, okay, so it's right, so he said that he will come, but it isn't right. So you need to know about such a thing as, how do we call it? Future in the past, future in the past, future in the past, okay? And we change will to would. It's a rule. So you need to say he said that he would come. He said that he would come. Or she told me, for example, she told me that she would be late. Would be late. So it's future in the past. So you have you have this part of the sentence in the past, yeah, past simple, and you need to use would, okay? So this sentence isn't correct. Only this one. He said that he would come. Okay, and two more important points. I'm so annoyed. You always make mistakes. I'm so annoyed, or I'm so irritated. Annoyed means irritated. So I don't like it. I don't like it. Really, I'm so annoyed. So mistakes, I see mistakes again and again. So stop, enough, yeah? And maybe say, you always make mistakes. And you need to know one very important rule. Okay, so what is it? I mean, if you have always and you talk about the present, and you talk about the present or regular things, yeah, and you have a feeling of annoyance, you have a feeling of annoyance or irritation, so you use present continuous. So I know that we use always with present simple, yeah, but you know, it's really annoyed, yeah, if you're really irritated, yeah, you have a feeling of annoyance, irritation, use present continuous. So you need to say, you're always making mistakes. You're always making mistakes. You're always making mistakes, okay? You're always making mistakes, okay? Or he's always saying silly things. He is always saying silly. Silly means stupid. Silly things. He's always saying silly things. Yeah, and one more situation. So no. Okay, so one more situation. It has a direct effect on my life now. This thing, yeah, changed my life forever. Okay, it has a direct effect on my life now. This thing changed my life forever. So is it right or not? Okay, so you see present simple and past simple. This thing changed my life forever. So you know that as I see, so there is a connection with the present. There is a connection with the present. Look, it has a direct effect on my life now. So it isn't about a distant past. It's about, yeah, a past action, and we see a connection, yeah, a direct effect on my life now. And so you need to say, my friend, what you need to say. You need to say it in present perfect. This thing has changed my life forever. This thing has changed my life forever. Okay, so very good. This thing has changed my life forever. Okay, so you need to know that if there is a connection with the present, or if we have a focus on the result. We have a focus on the result. So we are interested in the result, first of all, in the result. So we use present perfect. So it has a direct effect on my life. This thing changed my life forever. Okay, thank you very much, my friends. So I just wanted, to share, yeah, these things with you. I mean, 15 common mistakes. I just, can't keep silence. I can't keep silence. So the problem is that we often read information or we meet information about simple things, simple stuff, but there are mistakes, I mean like these ones. And students continue making these mistakes again and again. And few people really know these mistakes. Few people understand that they make mistakes. And I'll be the happiest person in the world. So if you start using this knowledge, or if you start applying this knowledge, and if you don't make these mistakes at all, so if you never make these mistakes at all, okay? So we use present simple with if. I hope that you understand me. Okay, thank you very much, my friends. Thanks for support. So you can share this video with your friends here on YouTube or on Facebook. So if you want more videos on grammar, please let me know and we can go forward. Thanks a lot, my friends. See you. Bye.